George, did you take the little duck out for his walk this morning?
Gracie, last week that duck hunting trip cost me plenty. And I'd just as soon not have that web-footed headache around here.
Oh, he's so cute, and he even comes when you call him. Watch this. Here, little ducky. Here, ducky, ducky. Here, ducky.
Oh, get out of here. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, you frightened him, Georgie.
Frightened him. I like to fricassee him.
Oh, no. Come here, little ducky. Oh, don't listen to him. He's just your mean old daddy. Don't worry. He's not really your daddy.
Well, that's a break for me, too.
George, how many lumps did you say?
2. Thanks.
You know, little Henrietta can understand every word we say.
Now the duck's name is Henrietta?
Yes? Yesterday
His name was Herman.
Well, I didn't buy those eggs you had for breakfast in the morning.
Thanks, Henrietta. Okay, I'll take that silly duck out for a walk again.
But you haven't had your coffee yet, Georgie. How many lumps did you say?
2. Thanks. Ooh, boy, this coffee is awful.
Why, what's the trouble?
Too cold. Come on, Henrietta, let's get out of here. Hello, Bill.
Hi, George.
Gracie's inside. I'll be right back. I'm going to take the duck for a walk.
A duck with a harness on? Are you kidding?
Come on, Henrietta. Come on.
I still can't believe that. Grace, look at him through the window. Doesn't he walk with the cutest waddle?
Yeah, he sure does, and that's why I married him.
You know, that's the most ridiculous sight I've ever seen. A man walking down the street with a duck on a leash. People must think he's crazy. He should get a swan.
Why a swan?
Shall I tell her about swan? After all, they're paying for this.
Oh, you know, I'm really glad you're here, Bill, because I've really got a lot of problems, and I really need your help.
Well, what is it, Gracie?
I got a letter from a boy I went to high school with, and I'm afraid to tell George, because you know how jealous he gets.
Well, that's nothing. I'll fix it. Hey, George?
Yeah, Bill?
Come in here, will you?
Wait while I tie the duck to the string.
No, don't worry. Don't worry, Gracie. I'll leave everything to me.
All right.
Say,
What
George,
is it, Bill?
say, George, you're a smart fella. Now, if Paul Whiteman's wife, say, got a letter from a boy she used to be her sweetheart when she went to school, what do you think he ought to do?
Why, nothing. That's kid stuff.
Okay, Gracie, read the letter.
What? A letter?
Dear Gracie, I'll be in town today, and I'll phone you before I drop by to see you. We haven't seen each other in such a long time since our school days. It might be fun. Signed, Keith Fowler. P.S. Remember that rainy afternoon?
Gracie, what happened that rainy afternoon?
It rained.
What happened after that?
It cleared up.
Who's this fellow?
Keith Fowler?
Keith Fowler.
Yeah, well, he's my old school sweetheart. Oh, George, he was so wonderful. I'll never forget the day I met him. Such old world charm, such devil-may-care, so smooth, so handsome, and yet such old world charm and intensely masculine.
How old was he?
6.5.
6.5?
Yeah, but he had the mind of a boy of 7.
What am I getting excited about?
George, you're worried about that rainy afternoon.
Yeah, when Keith was 19.
19?
Oh boy, was he an athlete?
Oh, he was an athlete.
Yeah, well, you know, where you got that vaccination mark on your arm, Georgie?
Yeah.
That's where he's got muscles.
Oh, yeah? What's wrong with my arm? Look at it.
Yeah, well, that reminds me. I think we'll have Hilda make spaghetti for dinner tonight.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, Hilda.
Say, Bill,
Yes, George?
now that Gracie's gone, you can do me a favor.
Yeah.
When this Fowler guy gets here, when he starts talking about athletics, I know nothing about it. So will you please change the subject?
Well, George, that'd be very rude.
Yeah, but you can do it subtly. For instance, I'll show you. Go ahead. Start talking about athletics.
Well, okay. Well, now, take Greg Rice at Notre Dame. That's an athlete. Here's a fella.
Say, Bill, where'd you get that suit?
You like it, huh?
No, I don't like it, but I changed the subject, didn't I?
Now, gee, George, you did it that. Now go ahead, do it again, and this time I'll try to stick to the subject.
Go ahead, go on.
Right now, Greg Rice holds the indoor record for 2 miles.
Oh, that swan soap.
For 3,000 more meters.
It's the white floating soap.
For 3
It's
miles.
a good soap.
And no other. Good. Is that all you can say for Swan? Just good? It's
Hey,
great.
Bill, I did it again.
A Swan is the only really new white floating soap since the gay 90s.
See how easy it is to change the subject?
Well, a Swan is 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps.
I guess it's not that easy.
Just good, he says. Why, Swan lathers twice as fast, even in the hardest water. Swan gives you a load of thick, creamy suds.
Now it's practically impossible.
Swan costs no more than old-fashioned floating soaps, yet Swan gives you more soap for your money.
That's a nice suit you have on, Bill.
Your whole family will like Swan for washing the dishes, and Swan is great for silk stockings and underthings. It's so gentle and sudsy, and it holds a record for 2 miles.
For 2 miles?
I like that. I switched myself off the subject.
Well, I can't understand that.
Hey, George, did anyone drop in, for instance, Keith Fowler?
Gracie, don't mention that man's name.
Georgie, don't get so upset. He's just a boy I went to high school with, and I did have a crush on him, but so many things have happened since then that I lost track of him.
Well, what kind of things?
Oh, just awful things. My father went bankrupt. We lost our home and we had to move to another city, and then we were dispossessed.
Just one calamity after another.
Yeah, then I married you.
Well, I've heard enough. I'm going to my room.
Oh, George. Oh, George. Oh, please come down, Georgie. Oh, it's really silly locking yourself up in your room like that, all on account of Keith Fowler.
Hey, George, or Gracie, what happened during that rainy afternoon?
Well, I'll tell you, Bill, if you promise not to tell George.
I promise.
Well, what happened was... Oh, here comes George. I'll tell you later. Oh, I wouldn't want to upset him for the world, you know. Just don't mention Keith.
All right.
Yeah, that's a pretty tune you're whistling, Keith.
Keith?
I mean George.
Now look here, Gracie, if you think for one moment I give a rap about that silly love affair you had in school, you're crazy.
Oh, you're just getting too excited for no reason at all. There's really nothing. You built it all up in your head. It's really nothing.
Sure, I'm wrong. I'm always wrong.
Let me make you some coffee, Georgie.
Everybody's right except me.
Oh, hello? What? Oh, sure, I'll be glad to. Goodbye. I'm opening the window.
Who is that? Why do you open the window?
The neighbor, he says he can't hear us argue.
George, come here.
What is it, Bill?
Now listen, don't get upset. Keith Fowler mentioned that he's going to phone before he gets here.
Yeah?
Well, as soon as the phone rings, I'll answer it and get rid of him.
Oh, well, thanks, Bill. That'll be great.
Okay.
Gracie, forget the whole thing. I'm not mad anymore. It's all over.
I knew you'd see it my way. So, George, you're not mad at me anymore?
Oh, I wasn't mad. I was only kidding. I can hardly wait to meet Keith. Isn't that right, Bill?
You'll get a big kick out of George.
He certainly will.
Oh, I bet you'll like Keith. He's not only the best athlete in school, but he also had a beautiful singing voice. Every day when he walked me home from school, he'd sing Yippee-ki-yay. And I lived about 3.5 choruses from school.
3.5 choruses?
Yeah, well, it was really a little farther, but used to hold on to that last note. George, you're really not angry about what happened that rainy afternoon?
Nah, it was probably nothing.
Yeah, of course it was nothing.
Gracie, it really makes no difference if you feel like